Audio Jungle.
Players and haters, we are finishing up doing this old event for Aigami here. So let's just kill Kaiba here because this is a requirement for doing this event. We're using the good old trusty Thunder Dragon just to finish him off real fast. And one more swing, and there we go. Kaiba is gone. Then we're going to take a look at Aigami here, or whatever his name is. Don't know the name. Doesn't matter. Blah, 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 Kaiba. Let's take a look at what we're getting here. He still wants to get the Pharaoh for some reason. Alright. Okay, apparently the Pharaoh is still gone. Uh-huh. Okay. It looks like they're still... Okay. Net deck Dark Magician wins the duel. Uh-huh. Alright. So we have Aigami here. Now, I believe he's the cubic guy. So we're going to take a look at some cubic cards. I didn't do the event prior to this, so I didn't get like Gungdi or whatever, but I did do a lot of this event here. I got a good amount of cubic cards, so hopefully I got enough to build a deck. We're going to take a look at this. So let's go into Dual World DSOD and see what's fun. I have no idea what to expect out of this character. Hopefully he's got some fun stuff. We just got a new box release. Maybe the box is tied to this guy, like, I believe Taya was tied to, like, the Witchcrafter box. So here we go, we got Aigami. So we're going to start, as always, with his level up rewards, and we'll go into his skill list. And then we will just I'll give an overall first impression and see where he stands in this metagame right now. So obviously, start with level 3. We got Gira Guile, the Cubic King. Cannot be normal summoner set, must be first special summon from your hand by sending a cubic monster you control to the graveyard. If it's summoned this way, you gain 800 attack. If this card is special summoned from the hand, inflict 800 damage. At the end of the damage step, if this card battled, you can target up to 2 V-Gem, the cubic seed, in your graveyard. Send this card to the graveyard, and if you do special summon them, then you can add 1 Vulcan Dragni, the cubic king, from your deck to your hand. Alright, so we got some special summoning, got some burn. Looks like it has to be special summoned from the hand first, so whatever. We got our first skill, Cubic Seeds. At the beginning of the duel, add 3 V-Gems to your deck. This skill can only be used if you begin the duel with a deck/extra deck that contains no monsters other than cubics. So here's our V-Gem. It says, cannot be destroyed by battle. Wow. That first effect's pretty interesting already. At the end of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can place this card face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, and if you do, place 1 cubic counter on that opponent's monster. Monsters with a cubic counter cannot attack, also negate their effects. If this card is treated as a continuous spell card by this effect, during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your spell and trap card zone. So, hello, Cancer Stall. Oh, man. And it's also like, it's just a wow, that's pretty nasty in the lockdown. Maybe Cube Stall? Who knows? Alright, we got level 7, Blade Garudia, the Cubic Beast. Did we read this one already? Oh, this one is, okay, so it looks like you special summon it from your hand by sending 2 cubic monsters you control to the graveyard. It gains 1,000 attack, can make a second attack during each battle phase. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you can target up to 3 V-Gems in your graveyards. Send this card to the graveyard, and if you do special summon them, then you can add 1 Buster Gundil, the Cubic Behemoth, from your deck to your hand. Okay, so doing the old event kind of is relevant. So we got another of the same guy here. Another one of those guys. We got Cubic Karma. When this card is activated, you can target one cubic monster you control except V-Gem. Send any number of V-Gem, the cubic seed, from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Then that monster gains 800 attack for each. Even if this card leaves the field during your opponent's turn, if V-Gem, the cubic seed, is special summoned by the effect of a cubic monster, send this card to the graveyard, and if you do, have your opponent's life points. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one cubic monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a searcher. It cuts your opponent's life points in half. So maybe there's some ties with like, I think there's a Trickstar right now that got added in. So maybe we could do like some Trickstar burn. Life charge for level 13. We got another one of these guys. We got Buster Gundle, which apparently I didn't need to do the event. The prior one. Okay. Level 20, we got Dimension Summon, which is like a cool name. Play one level 4 lower cubic monster from your hand. The attack of the monster you played with this skill is equal to its original level times 500. If the monster is destroyed, you lose life points equal to its original level times 500. So if you look at it, so if you play like a level 4 monster, you can potentially lose 2,000 life. If you play level 8, you just die. This skill can only be used if you begin the duel with the extra deck. So cubics. The skill can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. Okay, so interesting ability. We got in Diororia, Doomvolt the Cubic Emperor. Cannot be normal summon or set. Must be special summon from the hand by sending 3 cubic monsters you control to the graveyard. So I think we're going to be using V-Gem a lot, because it seems like V-Gem is like the thing that you just constantly special summon. Against 2400 attack. Burn for 800. If it's sent to the graveyard by battle card effect, you can target up to 3 cubic monsters in your graveyard, special summon them. Then you can add a cubic card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Doesn't say not itself, so you can cycle itself. Interesting. Got another one of these cubic karmas. We got Evil Swarm Copielia. Cannot be special summoned. When this card leaves the field because of your opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of that target until your next end phase. That's a really long time. And it's a level 6. So the only way is to karma cut this guy to get rid of it. Interesting. I have some Monarch. I think this might be an alright Monarch card. In level 35, we got another Endoria. And it looks like that's it as far as cards. The Karma is very interesting. Alright, we're going to view his skills now. So, oh wow. So the first one is, you don't deserve to exist in my world. Choose one monster your opponent controls that is equipped with an equip spell and has at least 1,000 attack above its original attack, and send it to another dimension. This skill can only be used once per duel. So there is, although it is kind of like very situational, there is ways to just trigger this on your own. You could give him like an Axe of Fools on one of your opponent's monsters. I'm trying to think. I mean, Red Eye Slash doesn't really do that. I mean, it's a good way to get around something like a Power of the Guardians. Or even something that would be really funny is, if you ever seen Neos Fusion with, you got like Brave Neos and they're equipped with like my favorite hero, and they gain like an insane amount of attack. You just send it to another dimension. Oh, you also come with Mind of the Plana too. Interesting. So this one is send all your opponent's banished cards to another dimension, which might come up with Valkyries, because Valkyries do a lot of banishing out of the graveyard, so that might be a thing. We got level reduction. So these skills are really handy, these level skills. We got level augmentation, which is like why I play Leo. So that's interesting. So I might make this one of my mains instead of Leo. Interesting. We already did Dimension Summon. We already looked at Cubic Seeds. We got Cubic Dimension Summon. Send one cubic monster you control to the graveyard and play one cubic monster from your hand that is one level higher than the monster sent to the graveyard. The attack of the monster you played with this skill is equal to its original level times 500. Can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. Interesting ability. And then at the end of, I think everything else is kind of generic, but we'll read Afterlife Lockdown since only Sarah has it. Until the end of the turn, if a cubic monster you control destroys an opponent's monster by battle, shuffle the destroyed monster into its original owner's deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. Can only be used once per duel. Huh. I think this ability is actually like decent against some Shiranui plays, because sometimes they set their Spectral Sword when they don't really have a play first turn. But that's its only like real. I mean, there's also like sending a Whitestone Ancients back into the deck. It's kind of handy, slows your opponent down, but it's not really that impactful overall. It looks like most likely because Vijim is not in your. Well, actually, let's look. Can we farm this guy? Actually, let's see if we can farm him. If he's not farmable, then I don't know. Because maybe, looks like you can't farm him yet. So I was going to say, so overall, like, I think he's got some pretty powerful cards. The V-Gems are very powerful. So, like, his opening ability here. Let's go back to that. This opening ability, adding these V-Gems, seems like that's going to be probably your main way to play Cubics. Because all of your Cubic cards are kind of centralized around this card in particular. So you're going to be kind of ham-fisted in a way to just play Cubics. So it's probably going to look something like, almost like Shiranui, where you're playing like mostly Shiranui cards and then just hella back row. That's kind of the way it's looking right now. Now his abilities too, I think there's a lot of really good generic ones in here. Like Mind of the Plana, level reduction, level augmentation. So with those two, you can play like Shiranui, or you can play, some people play level augmentation or level reduction Blackwings, which is an idea. What's the other one? Dimension Summon might come up, like maybe with some OTK. I think that might be kind of funny. You had 2,000 attack on a monster. That's like nothing to snuff at. Although you could get burned. And then this skill at the top is just hilarious. But like I said, you're probably going to play with like Axe of Fools or Axe of Despair to trigger this. I doubt you're really going to activate this from your opponent equipping a monster with their own equip spell. But you never know. Other than that, I think he looks cool. You know, he's got a cool character. This card here seems pretty powerful. So you're probably, if you are gonna play Karma, like you're gonna have to be locked into this ability here, because there's no seeds at all outside of your ability. So that's kind of like a downside. But maybe Cubics are so powerful that that's all you need to do is run that one ability. And if that's the case, it's pretty nice that you unlock it at level 4. Because most of these just seem, you know, they're kind of centralized around that. Now, the downside to the V-Gem guy is he doesn't have any piercing protection. And he doesn't have any spell and trap protection. And he doesn't have any protection from, like, what's it called? Enemy controller. So there you go. Overall, probably a cool deck. It's going to be different. Maybe hopefully it'll change up the meta a little bit, but I will level them up a bit and get back to you guys when I do. Until then, thank you for watching. Have a great day.